All right, for those of you that are joining us in the YouTube video, welcome to the 2021 NFL Draft. You have to be excited for these things. And at the number 22 spot in the first round, the pick is in for the Tennessee Titans. Trayvon Merrick is a legitimate possibility. Owusu-Koramoah is still on the board at linebacker. As far as what we're expecting, I think you bring in a second wide receiver because you just lost Corey Davis. Totally didn't blank on his name for a second there. Hello, welcome to the chat. But this is going to be interesting to see who they go with. We've seen a lot of really bizarre picks so far. I think receiver solidifies your passing game. Maybe you go bolster that secondary with Trayvon Merrick. You go with somebody like Farley or another corner like Greg Newsome. Plenty of options here. Real quick, who do you think they're going for?
Terrace Marshall Jr. You lost Corey Davis. A.J. Brown is basically your only threat there. Put in another huge target that did put in some major work at LSU alongside Chase, and they could be looking right for Tannehill and the Kings team.
Yeah. And you've also got to think, too, they lost Jonnu Smith. So A.J. Brown really is their only legitimate target down there. And Adam Humphries, I believe, went somewhere.
It's a little high for a tight end. But the way this draft is going, tight ends are flying off, or receivers are flying off the board.
Tight ends are flying off the board. There's been one.
Woo! Basically a receiver now.
Yeah.
But receivers been flying off the board, and I don't see Morig coming off yet.
Could they go with the O-tackle that keeps falling?
Darrisaw?
Is that possible for Darrisaw? They need an O-tackle.
Man, if they take him here, I don't know what I would stop commentating, because why?
I mean, it would be a best man available pick, but they have more pressing issues in the secondary, more pressing issues with receiver and or tight end. I think receiver would be the smart pick here, or Trayvon Morig or Merrick, however you pronounce that. It's interesting. They have a lot of options here. I'm not entirely sure where they're going to go. We've been saying that a lot for some of these picks. But this will be interesting. I think receiver's a smart pick. You take Terrace Marshall. You take, one of these other guys, Rondell Moore, I could see here, somebody like that. You just start building up your receiving core again. Because you have A.J. Brown and A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to tell who you're passing to, and there's one guy to throw to. So
at Philadelphia now.
Yeah. So you've got to take. The pick is
Caleb Farley.
Wow.
Woo!
Okay. So this means that they took him and the risk with him over Greg Newsome. I like this pick. This is a bold pick by the Titans. Let me just say that. You have receivers on the board. You have a sure thing with Greg Newsome, Greg Newsome on the board, and then you go ahead and grab. You go ahead and grab Caleb Farley, arguably the best defensive player in this draft until that injury. So what do you think? Would you have taken Caleb Farley right here, one of the best defensive players available, and taken that big of a risk at 22? You're very torn, I can tell. You're like, I don't know how to answer this.
Well,
what do you think?
It's a large upside, but also a large risk.
Yeah, high risk.
Greg Newsome, if you want corner, I feel like is a safer pick, but long term, I don't know. Yeah. But Darrisaw is still there. I would have taken Darrisaw.
Yeah. Vikings need help on the O-line.
Especially with King Henry there.
Yeah.
You would think Darrisaw,
would be the anchor for that.
Like everyone knows you're going to run it, and it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know. Now the Vikings are on the clock, but what do you think about the Farley trade?
I like it. I think Caleb Farley has legitimate potential to be the best defender in this draft class. The injury's a little scary, but sometimes you just have to take a shot on something.
Yeah.
And if you really think that those injury concerns are not a big deal, then take him. Take the best guy available and just hope the doctors are right. I've been a huge fan of Farley. He's one of the best corners, obviously, in this draft. One of the best corners we've seen in a while. So, very interesting pick here. Maybe a little questionable, I'll be honest. You're assuming a lot of risk, depending on how bad those injury concerns are. But if he's healthy, maybe this is like the next Jalen Smith. He sits a while because of injury, comes back and dominates at his position.
Maybe, yeah. I don't remember hearing anything about Owusu-Koramoah being injured, though.
Nuh-uh. or Darrisaw for that matter, which was a lock at 13 to the Chargers, is falling. Yeah. This will be 10 picks he's falling if he doesn't get taken by the Vikings.
I mean, Moehrig is projected 17, and he's dropping a little. And there's a lot of teams that could have taken safety. I mean, right here they could go safety. Creed Humphrey, maybe Azeez Ojulari.
Yeah, this is weird.
We might even see Rousseau go.
I could see that Greg Rousseau slip back in, Jason away, something like that. For those of you watching the YouTube video, we're going to go ahead and cut it here. We'll upload the next one right after the Minnesota Vikings announce their 23rd pick or trade it to somebody else. With the craziness that has been tonight, you never know who's going to be at 23, so stay tuned.